I am a malicious beast unleashed by triggers. I am hot and cold. My presence is felt in clenched fists and gritted teeth, but my true nature reclines beneath what you see. I can consume you whole, clouding your mind, blinding you to reason, leaving reason behind. I am also a messenger, a signal to heed, a warning that something deeper you may need. I listen closely. I am not just your foe. I am a reflection of what you may yet know. Embrace me, understand me, and I will reveal the hidden truths that my flames conceal. Anger burns within my chest, a flame that cannot be trained. It spreads and grows, consuming me, until it becomes all I know. It mutates into hate, a venom that seeps into my soul. It twists and distorts my thoughts, turning me into something I didn't know. I lash out with words that cut like knives, an action that leaves scars, a bloody high. I am devoured by this darkness, and I can break free from its hold. But deep down, I know that hate only breeds more hate. Lies are born from this toxic brew, spreading like poison, corrupting all we know. Words are twisted and wrapped to fit our rage, creating a false reality, a darkened stage. It blinds us to reason, clouds our mind, leads us down a dark and dangerous line. It whispers lies, stirs up our rage, and turns us into a vicious, hateful sage. We lash out in anger, we strike out in rage, we do things we'll regret, stoned to death. It distorts our view, a venomous brew. It fuels our actions, it makes us sin, it burns within, it destroys us with a grin. It whispers in your ear, poisoning your mind, filling you with doubt, making you blind to the truth that lies inside. The peace within, it twists and distorts to prepare for feasting in the lion's den. It tells you lies. It makes you think you're made of steel, when in reality, you're bare bones, bare and brittle. It sends ye forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. It dulls the sharpest sting when anger and hatred take control. But, in the end, it only serves to numb and bend the illusion that lurks within, with no other intention than to lash you deeper into sin. Anger bubbles and boils, seeping into every crevice of our being. At first, it may seem like a release, a purging of frustration and injustice. Over time, anger contaminates and grows, consuming all in its path. As the infection of anger spreads, it begins to mutate into something even more insidious: hatred. Hatred is like a plague, eating away at the very essence of a person. It clouds judgment, distorts reality, and breeds a toxic cycle of negativity. Here is the cruel irony of anger and hatred. Both serve no one, not even the individual who harbors it. They are a double-edged sword, cutting both ways and leaving nothing but destruction in their track. Anger and hatred are like a poison that we drink ourselves, expecting the other person to die. In the end, it is the furious who suffer the most. Let go of anger, release the grip of hatred, and free yourself from the toxic cycle that serves no one. Let patience and understanding be your guide, and watch as the poison of anger settles and drains through the open wounds caused by them to allow for healing and growth. In the jumbles of our emotions, guilt intertwines delicate threads, leaving an imprint upon the soul. It is not an outright fleeting sensation, but a heavy burden that lingers, eroding the edges of our conscience. Guilt weighs us down, like an invisible anchor tethering us to the past. It whispers, reminding us of our mistakes, our transgressions, and our unfulfilled promises. It fills us with a sense of regret and failure. The onset of guilt lies in our desire to live in accordance with our moral compass. When our actions deviate from the path, guilt serves as an internal alarm, a signal that we have fallen short. It is a painful reminder that we have strayed from our own expectations and the expectations of others. It paralyzes us, robbing us of our motivation and casts a shadow over our present. It can isolate us, causing us to retreat into ourselves away from the judgment of others. The constant torment of guilt guides us towards self-destructive behaviors, furthering the cycle of affliction. Guilt, too, can be a catalyst for growth and transformation. It can motivate us to make amends, to rectify our wrongs, and strive for redemption. In the process of atonement, we confront our guilt head-on, acknowledging the harm we have caused others, as well as harm others have spawned onto us. These are journeys that test our resolve and push us to the limits of our compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. But in the solitary recesses of our mind, guilt weaves its deceptive web, ensnaring and driving them into a desert of loneliness. It is a torment that lashes at the soul, leaving behind wounds that infect and refuse to heal. Like a relentless storm, guilt's icy breath chills the warmth of social and personal connections. It lifts invisible barriers, isolating individuals within their own impenetrable confines. The weight of wrongdoings, real or perceived, crushes the spirit, promoting an intense sense of unworthiness. For some, the longing for forgiveness and self-acceptance binds them, causing them to retreat into solitude. They become shadows of their former selves, withdrawing from the world and shunning the company of others. In their isolation, they seek solace in self-punishment, hoping to atone for their perceived sins. In the intricate corridors of our minds, guilt and loneliness can intertwine like venomous serpents, their grips constricting our spirits. These insidious serpents, forged in the fires of past infractions and the void of mortal connections, binds us to a perpetual cycle of self-judgment and isolation. Breaking free from these oppressive shackles is not an unconquerable task. We must recognize that guilt is not a punishment, it is a natural response to our actions. Other than dwelling in shame, we can learn from our mistakes and grow from them, and also understand that loneliness is not a weakness, but a longing for connection. Breaking the chains requires forgiveness, not forgiveness of others, but forgiveness of ourselves. Holding on to past violations only fuels our suffering. We should let go of that burden, guilt, and embrace the possibility of acceptance. Loneliness, in turn, can be alleviated through gaining a sense of purpose.